Hi, we're going to take a look at the semi-detached house today. Now it's the Bozena version, so it's the one that is described as half of it is in ruin, but there are people living in the other half. So the people living in the other half, it's three women, one of whom is called Bozena, which is why I call it the Bozena version. But anyway, we're going to have him guard, and we're going to go with Amelia. So this is the Amelia Roman story. It doesn't really matter who goes. Now, there are various ways to approach this. You've either got the non-combat option, the steel option, or the combat option. So we're just going to go the non-combat to start with. And the safest way to do this is with two saw blades. So when we arrive, we can see the two halves of the house. Now, this is the half that we're allowed to run around, and this is the half that is inhabited by the women. So you can run up to this pile, no problem, because it's not stealing. This one is stealing, and the woman, Bozena, with the gun is right there. So if you try steal from there, you'll tend to get a reaction. But as we don't want to get into an altercation with the women, so we're just going to go down here, and as long as you don't get in their face or get in their way, then they'll never chase you down here, and you're fine. So this is the first of the saw blade requirements, which gets us into the safe part of the house. So I'll pick up all of the piles in a moment, but here's the second saw blade requirement. A couple of piles to loot here and a door to unblock there. So there is a guy wandering around this half of the house, but he's not hostile, and if we don't bother him, he doesn't bother us. So what I'll do is just to show you the loot available in this half of the house. I'll just dump it all in here. I'll be back once I've picked it all up. Dump this off for now. Alright, so there's no drama on this side of the house. You just run around, pick up all the loot piles, except for one particular spot right here. So when you pick up this loot pile here, you see Bozena with her gun down there. So, and as soon as you pick up this loot pile here, she shoots at you. But you don't get injured. You'll hear Amelia scream and flinch. But no problem. Alright, so as long as we don't stand around here, then Bozena won't come over and bother us. But if you just stand here, maybe half the time Bozena comes over and comes up and will basically kill us if we just stand around there. Now, if Bozena does come over and you just hang around here too long, there's no real need to anyway, but as long as you get out of here, she doesn't come over. But if she does come over, then she's restricted to this part here. She can't come through these doors, even if you've unblocked them, and she doesn't jump up here. So as long as you stay in this half of the house, even with Bozena around, she'll just path up and down here. And obviously shoot you if you get in her way. But anyway, this is the safe option. I'll run around and just pick up all the piles. Be back in a moment once they're all consolidated down here. Just making our final drop off now. So this is going to be the sum total of the loot that we've got from this half of the house, which looks to be much the same every time. It doesn't vary a lot, if at all. So we've got a couple of valuable items like 2 cans of food for meat there. The odd stack of this, the odd stack of that. But as you can see, even with a small backpack of 10 pockets, there's really only one trip here. So now if we run to exit, once we've taken what we want, then there is an exit on this side. Just coming back to this screen again, there is one other option in the non-combat, non-steal choice, and that is to potentially save a saw blade. You can just run across the top rather than go through the bottom. Now, going through the bottom is the safe way because you never get a reaction that way. But running across the top here, you can run along here and up here, but very often aggravates her. And you end up with Bozena running over far more often. Then she's basically hunting you. So this time she's not coming over, but very often she does. Now once she does, yeah, she's chasing you up and down these stairs. So I think the safer option is just to use the extra saw blade and go under here. But anyway, let's look at the steel option. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to go for a quick theft and then run over to the safe part of the house. So if you just jump up here, you can see there's a lockpick requirement, which is why we brought the lockpick. And the reason that this is worth it is because one of these piles here has 5 meds in. 4 meds in. But that's a lot of meds, and it's quite valuable. So depending on your situation, whether you've got sicknesses in the house, and you can also steal this stuff too. So then you can come down here and just proceed as normal. So over to the safe pile. But our pockets are now full, so you can choose what you want to take and then down. And you're good, and you're back to normal. So she comes down, Bozena stays there, she comes down, looks around for whoever she was hearing there, but they're not aware that you've stolen anything, and you're good, and you're back to routine on this half of the house, and you just go around, take what you need, but this time you've got a bunch of meds along with it. So now let's look at the combat option. So for the combat option, we would take either 1 or 2 saw blades, because you don't need to go to that underground section anymore, so you don't necessarily need to do that saw blade. So you could get away with 1. So we would need a weapon to do the dirty, and potentially 3 lockpicks. So if we go there and kill Bozena, then what's going to happen is we're not going to have time to do both sides of the house. So, but this would enable us to do the second part of the house on a second visit. So let's go. So as far as combat is concerned, these 2 women here are non-aggressive. So the only one you need to kill is this one. So all you have to do is alert either of those to your presence, and then they'll go get Bozena. So for example, this one here, so she'll go get Bozena now, and then Bozena will come. And she saw us too. And all you have to do is kill the one with the gun, and you're over. And that's it. The other 2 will just leave you alone. And that's the case on return visits too. So that's the end of the combat right there. Now she'll give you a gun, 15 bullets. And the other 2 will just keep saying, please stop, please stop. They'll be there if you come back as well. Sometimes they leave this unlocked, sometimes not. And this leaves you free to do all the looting that you want. And of course you're stealing again, but now you've stolen and killed. So what I'll do is I'll just get everything, dump it into one pile here. And then you can see the sum of the loot that you can get from this side of the house as well. We're just making our final drop off now, but there is one more pile to steal from, and that's the one down here. And depending on your food situation, this could be the one that's really worth going for. See, it gives you 4 carrots. So the women don't bother you at all, so it's just Bozena that you need to take out. Now, as far as morale penalty is concerned, I've done this multiple times with Amelia and Roman. Now, Amelia and Roman are both pretty robust in terms of it takes a lot to get them sad. Now, whether you steal or steal and kill, it seems to be with these 2, specifically with these 2, the morale penalty is the same, in that you get back, and generally Amelia will be sad, Roman will either be sad or not. Most of the time he's not. And that is with either the steal or steal and kill. But with less robust characters, I'm not entirely sure how they would react to killing Bozena or stealing, or whether there would be a larger morale penalty for the killing. I'm not entirely sure, but in the Amelia Roman one there doesn't seem to be. So we did pick up 1 more med, so we got a total of 2, 4, 5, a couple of cans, and of course, as we saw, there are a couple of cans over on the other side of the building as well. So we got the 4 carrots. This is what we brought with us. 18 sugar, good for trade. Got a couple of these. Remember, there were 3 on the other side, so that's our stack of 4 if we needed those. And of course, we got the gun. Bozena dropped 15 bullets, but we picked up another 6 in one of the lock boxes at the top there. So we got a total of 21, so a full stack of bullets to take home. That's pretty much the options in the semi-detached house. Because now, when we come back, the two women will still be here, but they'll be non-aggressive, and we're free to pick up all of the loot piles over here as we were before, and as well as go through here if we wanted to. But we only need one saw blade in future. So that's the semi-detached house, and I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching. Bye.